Alright, let's do it. Let's get funky fresh. Hello, potentially, stream. Am I frozen? Sorry, doing some health checkup stuff. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, okay. Cool. God love me the coffee. Alright, stream. We're probably going to have some guests later on. But in the meantime, let's actually go ahead and take a look at, actually we can stay there. We got our home pages. One thing I want to do is use pages and basically show how either I built them or look at how a different content manager built them. Then we can make them together and actually have it recorded. I've had to work on the student award pages, which honestly have been good examples of how to mix a lot of different elements. When I say a lot, it's really only like 3 or 4, but it does show how you can use very few elements to achieve a lot of different things. So let's go ahead and great. Also, no pop guard, so apologies if my words are a little extra perfunctory today. Okay, cool. Yep, everything looks good. So I had to double check live, because that's where you double check things. So whenever it's out in production. Okay, so this page is interesting for a few reasons. One thing that I've ran into is, of course, whenever we create things, you kind of want to scale it up. If we do it once, we want to be able to do it a bunch. Just making sure my music isn't too loud. Gotta be able to hear me talk too. Yeah, we'll call that good. Whatever. Okay, so with this page, it's really just, it's only text blocks, right? But there's a lot going on. And one issue, for instance, student award page, and we got a lot of different photos from the students themselves. I think actually some are professionally done as well, but not all at once, and it can be hard to really standardize photos. So what I did is I just left it in an element that's standardized rather than trying to match the photo. Now that's kind of a lie, because I did also resize all of these because they were very large images, like over a megabyte, using Paint. I just lowered them down to 500 pixels in height. Most of these were a portrait style image. Those that weren't, of course, you can kind of notice, so hers is a little bit more square than hers. Kind of the way it goes. But right, let's go to open with Paint. Move it over here. So again, remember we can do the resize, and I left the aspect ratio here, so that these would be proportional. Because for instance, let's say I think this is like 1800. Right? If I did that, all of a sudden you get a stretched image, and that's not what we wanted to do. So whenever you resize, be sure to leave that aspect ratio clicked. And make sure I'm here for guests. They're present. Alright, here's an example. What? Resize? How is this resized? It's huge. Alright, so here's another funky thing that we did with the, or I suppose I should say specific. We made a news story, and news stories are kind of weird elements. This just should be my downloads. Anything crazy with my downloads? I don't think so. Oh my goodness. Downloads. Yep. Thank you. Okay. So this picture here, right? It's just a picture. This looks like a text block. Cool. Nothing's crazy here. What are you on about? So the news element is actually a bit of an older element, and it requires some very specific features. So whenever we go to edit this, you're going to notice it doesn't look it's got some things like a text block. It's got the content field. It's got a photo tab, but it's a different kind of layout here, right? I believe. I need to replace that. Shoot. Alright. So, alright, well, hold on, let's back up real quick. First of all, photo, add item, here we go, upload. It actually will hold you to this. Now, a lot of times with this system, it'll let you upload a photo. Let's say you're doing a flex promo with image. It'll let you upload an image of the wrong size, I think to a point, because you could use that image for other things, and it just lets you upload the image to that. This will stop you. It'll say, hey, this isn't the right image size. So you actually need it to be the specific pixel dimensions. So we have an image here, open with paint. And so I'm wondering how is one of these pixel sizes, right? Because these are pretty small. I think the largest is 900 by 600. Whenever it's 1.3 megabytes. Let's see. No, I could be wrong. I'm open to being wrong. Yeah. Let me check real quick. Open it in Paint. Nobody see? Okay. Close that paint. Bring this paint over. Am I missing? Let me just upload it, make sure I'm not crazy. Let's just see if it works too. There says do upload. Yep. Okay, well let's resize it ourselves. See if it'll play nice too. Alright, so we don't need that one. Do not save. Alright, open this. Okay. Oh, this is the one I resized. Too many things, folks. There's too many things on the screen. Alright, open with paint. Resize. What are we closest to? What is this ratio? It's not. So when was I doing scientific stuff? I ain't that fancy. There we go. Okie dokie. Okay. I don't know if I can upload a new version. Let's see if I can. 900 by 600 might be the closest. Alright, what was our size again with this? 854. Can't fit 362 either. Interesting. I don't. Yeah. Okay. says it's not gonna arrive until forever. What is this? Still nobody. Properties. Details. Yeah, 1271 by 854. 1271 by 854. Okay, I'm not crazy. Let's get editorial. Sure, okay, new. Yep, that closes that. Alright, and then what we're gonna do is open this in Paint. Alright. Let's get weird. Oh, that's too much. Too weird. Alright, I'm going to actually take an eyedropper of that blue. And you can't see it, but in my second, I'm gonna open this. You ready? We're gonna Bob Ross it up right now. No mistakes, just happy accidents. All right. Colors. I'm gonna edit this color. Edit this color. Give it 0, 180. 153. Oh no, 653. AD, not 180. Great. Okay. Alright. Oh, actually, let me resize this to be. See, it's the proportion as part of the problem, so I'm going to have to like add some spaces. It's either spaces or border is really how it's going to be. It's gonna have to be it is wider than it is tall, so it's going to be landscape. Good grief. Right, you think this would be simple, but it's not. It never is. 543. Yep, we are not doing aspect ratio. Wild. Right, so I'm going to have to majorly size this down. Let's just see what happens. 362. Yeah, that's close, yeah. See? So there's only going to be like a little bit on the edges. And I can maybe fudge that in between that stuff. Alright, so Control A, C. Yeah, see? Actually, I can cut off the top and the bottom, I think, easier than I can the sides. Alright, we're just gonna go back up. Copy that, paste it in, over here, nope. Oof, I'm getting some tearing. Oh, yeah, wow, ouch. is all I have to say. 20 award. What? How? Oh, I know how, because I'm stupid. I bet I did not uncheck constrain or aspect ratio. So 543, 362. Thank you. Keep it grand. Bella. Beautiful. Upload. Let's go. Okay, so you can't replace it that way. Hey, we also learned that. So 20 minutes in, and we have successfully uploaded a photo. Hey, we're doing work. Look at that. Alright, I'm mostly just waiting for folks because I thought they'd be, I was requested. Alright, student awards. We're looking at them. Alright, so this page uses anchor links, and not only do we do that, we got it back to top. I think I covered that a little bit, just a little bit, in the FAQ here. Gotta remember, sometimes you come to this, gotta work on page, all changes. Boom, back to top, see? Hey. Alright, so we got our back to top there. Let's look at outstanding scholarship. I like this, so let's hover over this. Look at our bottom left. Again, I'm pointing as though that means anything. Oh, hey. Oh, hey, Edith.
Cool.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Doing grand. What do you want to chat about?
So I need to figure out what to do with our TB policy stuff.
Right. The document?
Yeah, the document, and then we're developing FAQs too.
Okay, interesting. Funnily enough, I'm on an FAQ example page. So is the document ready? Like you?
It's not. They're still, like, everybody's still reviewing it and legal and all that.
Ah, gotcha. Yep.
I guess we probably need to redo our navigation bar.
Yes, let's take a look. Let's take a gander. Health center.
And our homepage is so ugly right now because of all that stuff.
Yep. And one thing that we've talked to IT about, because normally they don't like us doing this for too long, but they've also just been like, everybody's got banner fatigue from every website.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot here.
Yeah. I know we had said like if stuff is on our homepage, then we don't need it like to be on the left, like the nav bar too. But some of that stuff has changed. I don't.
Yep. And this is maybe a bit long,
Yeah.
getting a bit long for the kind of triple setup here.
So I think they did that because I wasn't here when this all happened.
Yeah.
I think Chidi just sort of plugged stuff in because.
Yeah. Make it work. Understandable.
And I don't know, like, one of the things there too is about our front door. I'm like, I don't think we need to let students know ahead of time that they have to, like,
push hard. Interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, and we can organize things. So, like, we have some pages with, like, services in it under the About Us, which maybe we just need, like, a services page that lists everything.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think, honestly, the first step is just going to be kind of organizing just kind of big bucket.
Okay.
In terms of that and being like, hey, okay, like the services, let's collapse all this into one page, stuff like that. Just find where we can collate. And funnily enough, like with the this like kind of jumping method with the FAQ,
yeah.
On the coronavirus page, like the campus coronavirus page, they're using that a lot to help because the page does just have to be long, and you guys are in a similar situation.
We have another FAQ. I think it's under health insurance, and it's like the collapsible. Do we not want to use those anymore? Or
so we can. We're kind of all of two minds now, or changing. Where it's nice to see all of your questions up front,
right? And then just jump down to it instead.
And then move down to it, and it also depends on how much content is in there. This might be useful for a bit more of like a splash page, like for kind of bigger questions. But if you got a lot of questions with this many, I think we're kind of changing our opinions and going like, let's just do the anchor link where like you just jump down.
Okay. Is that hard to do or?
No, well, yes and no. So
it's time consuming, right?
It's you just got to know what you're doing. So you have to go in the source, right? And hashtag. This is where hashtags basically got started, like for like doing stuff. So I have ID A2 here for answer 2. And then I have hashtag A2 here to be like, hey, go to there. So you just have to know what code to type, but it does require code.
Okay.
So that's the other reason why like a lot of folks just did the collapsibles.
Right.
But again, this once you do it a few times, like it's fairly straightforward. But okay. Yeah.
And the other thing that I was having issues with is I was in Japan and we got a call from our psychiatrist and she was like all upset about like, not upset, but when they moved to online services, like she couldn't, the forms that students used to fill out in person, they couldn't fill out in person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Really, just to get somebody. Yeah. So like for instance, like if they want to give us a link to their upload, then okay. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Okay. And this is something where, so with the forms, like for the official university policies, what they've done is they've made a web page that has the policy and then the form itself. Because remember how I mentioned the form, like for the TB form, the document name must be the exact name as the URL, otherwise it creates a new URL and your old one doesn't work. So that's what, like with the, let's just do American University policies. That's what they've started doing, is just using a web page for, right? So let's go to student policies and academic grade grievance. They start linking to this page, and then this can kind of be, all right, whenever we have to update it, and if it's a different name, whatever, we're all just going to link to this page. And that holds the form. Well, that may be overkill for what you guys want, but it does save us from having to make sure that file name is the same. And it also gives us a backup spot to update the basics. So let's say somebody comes to a form just to see if they need to use it, this could basically describe like, you need this form if you are X. Like we can have a layout kind of like what they got here. I don't know if that makes life easier for you or not, but it's a way that we can present them. Yeah. Yep. Okay. And just like page names is fine. Like you can even just do a cleanup of the left nav first and be like, yeah, these pages can maybe go into one, stuff like that, and then we can start working through it. Yeah, well, I'm happy to help clean this up. I would say, like, for instance, one of the things we're like, and I know everybody does this, like we're underlining and italicizing. We're bold and then underlining and italicizing here to like, again, you're trying to call attention, but like we're trying to call so much attention that it's all just getting lost. So, yeah. So like I get why it's done. It's just not doing what it's intending to do. Yeah. So, but yeah. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, and what do you think works for folks? Like, I've got a couple written documents that have step by steps. Do you think videos would work? More office hours? Like, I'm happy to help get, because I know some folks now have free time when they were otherwise busy. Okay. Sounds good to me. Yeah. Uh huh. Okay. So, does she have a PDF? Right. Yep. Yeah. Which chart? Oh. Yep. So, yep. Yeah. I think you can edit it if you have like the Acrobat Pro. I have Acrobat Pro now, so like I can try to merge those for you. Oh yeah, then that should work. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Yes. Yeah, that should still work. Yep, it should just work like with Word. It should translate over. Cool. Of course, happy to help. Yep, sounds good. Yeah, bye. All right. Well, we're back. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, let's call it Edith. I think I had her on for most of it. So you oh, I turned the sound back on, but no music. There it is. She had questions about cleaning up the homepage. She does the health center. One of the things, and I kind of mentioned it, I think she was muted during this part. I see a lot of offices do this. Um, you're stacking, bolding, underlining, italicizing, and stuff. And the point is, you have a lot of important things to say, and you really want to highlight certain parts of that important thing to say, but it just kind of creates clutter, and you're not really conveying information well. This isn't structured or organized. This is a sentence where you're trying to like randomly shout stuff, um, and it's just not that effective. And it basically, I think it causes some accessibility issues whenever it's paired with links. Let me double check on that one. But yeah, ideally, like if you find yourself writing a paragraph like this, like pause and be like, all right, how can we restructure this? That's usually what I think it is, in my experience at least. All right, so, another thing too, these drop downs, these things are great, but this should not be like your whole web page on the left-hand nav bar. Pretty much everybody in OCL is guilty of this, so this isn't me trying to call out the Student Health Center. This is just, I get the reasoning behind it, but you're trying to guide people, right? So, for instance, new person comes onto campus, stops by your office, like, oh, hey, how do I get to X building? And you're like, yeah, you just go there. Like that doesn't happen. You're like, yeah, look out the window, and you'll see it. Be like, yeah, you go past the SIS building, right around Bender. Somebody doesn't know what any of this is, so guide people through. The website is your domain. Give people the path they need to walk on. All right. So we got our back to the top. All right, where were we? Anchor links, right? So we jumped to these. So for instance, with the Outstanding Scholarship Awards, we had 2 students. And we have a separate page that has the details about them, right? If you look at that link, bottom left of my screen. Oh, my face is over it. Edith actually saved me from looking dumb. Hey, right there. You might not be able to see that. Let's see, can I make this bigger? No. Alright. Yeah, this is as big as it's gonna get. See right there? Oh yeah. It says the whole website with CMS. Doesn't give us the www. But at the end of it, after the .cfm, we got #Linda. If we go here, #Zach. Curious. Where does this go? Let's actually look at the live version of it as well, just so I can keep my my pages open how I want. Hey, outstanding scholarship. #Zach. Hey, we're in a new page. Oh, shoot. Main screen. Transform. Fit to screen. Hey, there we go. Professional. All right, so we're on our awards page, the real one, or the live one, I should say. Go to #Zach here. Boom. We see that there. And if we clicked on Linda's name, it would go to her. And it works very similar to how the anchor link normally does, but instead of simply doing href equals, we give this a link like how we normally would, using the actual link tool here. So I selected our Outstanding Scholarship page. And then, after that's added, I went in the code, which I had to do anyways to make this a button. Because you have to add this class if you want to make that a button. Man, I gotta figure out. I gotta dual channel my music or something. Class button. This was already added, and I think this is really the part that Common Spot adds. It has a page ID, so that way if you change like the page name or stuff like that, it'll follow it. href here, I just added #Linda to the end of it, and then we'll go to her ID on the page. So that's how you can link to a anchor on a separate page. So you can still go to a new page, but the actual spot. We did the same thing here with Zeke and Rachel. These are all separate pages. I didn't have individual IDs and links to them, so the back to top is all the way over here. All right, so you notice I got a whole bunch of gears here, and yeah, I'm gonna make sure I'm not broadcasting to a room. All right, a lot of gears. Excuse me, I gotta figure out my breathing while I'm talking this much. I keep yawning in the middle of it. So we got all these gears, a lot of text blocks, right? What's that about? Well, I wanted to standardize the photos. I changed the size. I think Chaldina, you can see hers is the most square because I got a horizontal, a landscape one. So whenever I maxed the 500 height, I had to kind of cut it off. But what this does do is it means that, okay, here's a good example. I used the same thing. I did a text block, 500 pixels. It's the same photos over here. And the text wraps around, right? So this text over here is set because I added this through the photo tab. This photo is automatically going to try to be at the top. I set this to be half right for the image size. By default, it's full width. And all of these have half right. So this is built into the element to kind of standard, okay, if it's half right, it's going to take up this much space. Standardize the height. I don't know how much difference that made, but I figured if this text was going to be wrapping around, once it got long enough, I wanted it to look the same. Right, so you can see. The other reason why I did this is because it kind of makes it easier to edit, and again, like I said, sometimes you can lose edits if you do too much on a text block and the server doesn't take it. It can be heartbreaking. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know what's happening. I'm struggling. Okay, so cool, you did a bunch of text blocks. This means that you're not editing a huge chunk of text at once. If it crashes, you're safe. What is the downside to this? Well, there's a lot of different elements you got to edit, right? Organizing this was actually a huge pain because we kind of changed the order while working through it. Moving this many elements on the page, because whenever even if you go to like this move element, I can't scroll, right? Hopefully that didn't actually move it. And then you also have the problem of every time you make an edit, right, the page has to reload. Well, sometimes that can take up to 5 minutes, right? And there's a lot of different elements here. So every little edit I'm making, every text change, every typo I've made or I'm fixing, every picture adjustment, that's some time. And I can see these widths aren't standard. But what is standardized by this is this line, right? It is going to come in a certain amount. And this is actually probably my best example. I could also probably edit that. Interesting. Yeah, I think that's the only one that's our only super skinny photo. Nice. So again, there's some risk to it, but it's also something where once I made one and once we had a style standardized, I was like, okay, more copy, paste. And so that's how we added a whole bunch of these. I think consistency is also super helpful for a page, right? So I've got, not a lot of this is like actionable information, right? This isn't, how to pick up your keys, how to sign up for your ID card, but it does give something recognizable. Everybody can okay, after you've seen a few of these, all right, I got the award name, description, back to the top, student name, hometown program, and then a link to their full story for the award. Help yourself out and help people out, because no matter how long this page is, all right, we've got a pattern. I know exactly what to expect as I'm going down this page. And I don't think I really did anything too crazy with the other pages. These are individual pages that have the IDs in them. We can actually, ready? Yep, as you can see, I'm hovering over this. It's an H2 because it's a header 2. Hashtag Isabella because I added that ID in that header element. Hashtag Megan. Cole, how do we add IDs? I'm so glad you asked. So glad you asked. Bob Ross moment. I need to remember my Bob Ross affect. Don't save. So remember, oh yeah, and here's another thing. All right. Title is always H1, right? And in here, paragraph I is actually for italics. I think it's supposed to be EM for emphasis. Because we copied this over from Word, it might cause problems. Let me just save that real quick. All right. So in here, what I did then is, this is a header 2. I changed it using this drop down for the heading. Excuse me, but after I added that, source ID equals Isabella. Great. And then whenever I was over here, I added my link using the link tool. I went back into my source, added my classes to make it into a button there, and I found the end of the href, because remember, href is the destination. That's telling this, like, hey, A says, hey, I'm a link. Href says, this is where you're linking to. That page, outstanding service, hashtag Isabella. Now, one problem I encountered with this is it didn't work so perfect. For instance, I clicked outstanding service, and I had at first that header up here in the title, because this is a heading 1, and it had the ID in this paragraph. Well, the problem with that, whenever I was live, and I think the live page will show it better. Back to the top. All right, so if I hit outstanding scholarship, boom, right there at the top. This is our line, right? So what I did before, whenever this was the ID, is it was going whoop down there, which all of a sudden you're like, wait, am I this the right title? Yeah, it's just like a 1 scroll tick up, but still, you don't want to inconvenience your user. So whenever I was working on this, I was like, oh, that looks bad. Instead, I just moved the title from the title element here, because I can't edit the code there, or if there is, I don't know how. So instead, ID service. And again, whenever you're linking to an internal anchor link, once you add the ID, you just give the link text around the word A and /A. Say, hey, the words in between me. So we got A and /A. Okay, the words Cole's head here is now the link. Now the href now, just because you make it a link doesn't mean it's going to do anything. You have to give it a destination. So if I didn't have anything with the ID achieve on this page, it wouldn't work. So yeah, anchor links. I think, and if you're here for that conversation between me and Edith, the anchor links are becoming the preferred method, because we just want the text on the page, right? We want it there for people to be able to scroll through, see. People tend to scan pages. Lord knows I do. You scan a page, you see, okay, there's the word I need. Collapsibles, I don't know if they're getting as much work done as we want. All right, so what other wild and weird things can we look at today? I should have published that. All right, let's go to the story. Because news stories, I'll go and show it out. Ready? So news stories are like other pages, do from new page, OCL. Again, you can look. I just hit next. Where is news template? Hey, right there. And then it's like a regular page. Now, I say that. But once you get to it, once you get to that page, I found it quick last time. Let's see if I'm lucky again. Boom. Search the latest. All right. Looks very much like another page, right? Hey, look, there's our right sidebar. Fantastic. So, news element makes sense. Duh. But wait a minute. No container, huh? I think I left it in here. Yep. You should, whenever you create one of these pages, have this. Oh, excuse me. Didn't get much sleep last night. This but empty. So you'll have a news element up top, and then you will have an empty grid layout container. Edit the news element. All right. So we took a look at this earlier in our stream. We didn't get very far. Okay, we got a couple more fields. Title, author. You notice we got the required for some of these things, like topic. These are very important because that piece on the right That's auto-generated. That's just pulling other news based on... I'm going to try to stop, folks, on our topic and tags. I do not do a lot of work with news stories, so I cannot give you an in-depth breakdown of all of this, but it's important. So the taxonomy is like, how is this, connected to other stories? You need at least 2, I believe is what they say. Maybe they don't, but maybe I just selected 2. Use at least 2, please. For the topic, you can only select one of these. This was an award. There's no award, but there are achievements. Publication date. You might be like, I can schedule this in the future. No problem. Yes and no. You still are going to have to hit submit. There's no submit button here because I haven't made any changes, but let's see if this will be enough. So you can see, otherwise, this is a text block that works same as any other. We got all the elements. We got our code source. I would recommend more often, because there's just one, right? There's one big blob. So whenever before you hit save here, click the source button, hit Control A to copy everything, open up your favorite text editor, and paste it in there. Okay, great. I think that's it on the page, at least for this. New media, I don't think that's used anymore. Photo, for adding a photo. And then let's hit save. And voila. Hey, submit. Right, so normally with pages, you got a variety of ways to make it live and share it with folks, right? I've said you need to hit submit in order for changes to be pushed live, which is true of this. My rogue space at the end down here will go unnoticed or unpublished. However, normally with other pages, you can deactivate a page. I have it on good authority, but I have not confirmed for myself yet that this doesn't work. Even if you try to deactivate the page, it will be live. If you have a later publication date, it will be live. The submit button here is kind of the be-all, end-all for this being live. So, beware. Yeah, this looks like this might have an extra... Oh, whoa. No, thank you. No, thank you, Facebook. Go away. Yeah, I think that's an extra space. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. So this was... I published this yesterday. And I copied it mostly from Word. So I'm wondering if it's got a rogue. Yep. It's got an empty paragraph. So whenever you do enter to maybe add some extra space. That's what this is. Okay, great. It looks fine. It's save. And then now also my rogue space will make it into the published article. Okay. All right, folks. I had a sick cat last night. It's apparently manifesting, so I'm going to end the stream early, but stay on the office hours. Stay well, everybody. Bye.